Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to 2015.
Hey. So far, so good?
I guess. So let me grab my iPad here. So Andrew Jackson, who many of you already know, is going to join me tonight. AGA president.
No.
And a vice president?
Just a vice president.
You're vice president. Yeah. Vice president.
There's like 12 of those, though, so it doesn't...
Yes.
They like
AGA
pass those
vice
out
president.
like candy. You come to the wrong meeting, you walk out of vice president, really.
Oh, I know how it works. I've ran away from that meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to run. You have to
Smarter than
escape
I am.
that meeting, yeah.
That's why you're so...
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, I'm not sure if you guys heard the news this week, but we have a new American professional Go player. Yeah.
What's the count so far?
It's four? Four. It's the fourth, yeah.
The first year we had 2.
That's right.
Then last year it was just 1, and then this year is also just 1.
Yeah.
I'm a little curious. What does it mean to be a professional Go player if you live in a country that doesn't have a robust...
What a fantastic question.
Like-
That's a great question. Do you want to take it? Or
Well, you might be, here, I'll answer what I
Sure.
can, and you can add whatever
All right.
non-knowledge you have.
Okay.
Because I think that's what we can categorize it as.
Well, you know.
Well, so basically, not a whole lot. I mean, we're still figuring that out. Like, these people are sort of defining their roles. I mean, they are doing occasional commentary. They are doing occasional work for the AGA. They certainly have a title. They're getting invited to international events on occasion. But I think we're still figuring it out as we go along.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah. So I was actually there.
You were there?
After Ryan, I just flew back from Boston yesterday, and I was working as a game recorder for the whole tournament. And I was actually there, the meeting that Ryan won, when Myungwon and the AGA president, Andy Oakham, took him out and tried to fill him with responsibility and let him know what he just got himself into. And no, seriously, Myungwon told stories of what it means when you win, when you become professional in Korea, the ceremony that it involves, what that means. And in this case, being an AGA 1P is actually recognized by the Korean Go Association.
Right.
And you have the right to compete in domestic tournaments in Korea. There's at least 6 of them where you are allowed, and Korea will just recognize you as a 1P. The other thing, and this is actually the really cool part of the prize, is that it means you get to train in Korea, and they will subsidize it. So they will help cover your room and board and your tuition fees to study at the schools that the pros are studying at. So that's what we're really playing for. As far as how much money that gets you, now that we have 4 pros, we're actually going to be able to...
We're dividing that $100 funding.
That's right.
Four ways.
4 ways, exactly. You laugh, but actually, so pros make their money. They get games fees, right? When they play in a qualifier or in the early stages of the tournament, they get paid to do that, right? With 4 pros, we might actually see some AGA pro tournaments, which would be, it's not a lot of money. The e-journal also will pay pros to do their game reviews. So,
right.
It's not like we can offer someone a life of riches comparable with investment banking, but we can at least make a life comparable to half of a broke grad student. It's not... let me come in again, actually. No, but it is actually really impressive because I think it's a system that's about equivalent to Korean Go 50 years ago, where the Korean pros were just getting off the ground. They did not have any of the infrastructure that they have in place today. They certainly weren't the world powerhouse. It's really very equivalent to where they were, with the exception that they had a few more people playing the game in that country to begin with. But actually not as many as you might think. So it's really... I think it's a really promising start. Go.
Yeah.
That's what they get. So
Yeah. But they of course participate in the U.S. Go Congress and,
Sure.
and do lessons and teaching and play games.
Sure.
All the other things you'd expect a professional player to do.
So,
Yeah.
context. How many countries have professional players?
we are the 4th.
The 4th.
Yeah. So
We should say countries that have professional systems.
that actually may not be entirely correct. Europe also now has professional players, and they have I think one.
Who is it though?
Pavel Lisi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he won the first tournament, and he's also been taking them up on their offer and studying in Korea.
Wait, but isn't the Taiwanese system its own thing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to get into that. I don't.
Let's amend this and table
Yeah,
this.
yeah. We have
So we
two
get a
people
count.
who don't know what we're talking about.
Let's say it's more than 4, but less than 10.
Safe. That's a good.
But
Yes.
there are some professionals from other countries who are professionals in the Korean or Japan or Chinese systems.
Sure.
So that also happens. And I mean, the most famous one from America, of course, is Michael Redmond, the 9-dan pro for Japan, but he's American. So,
He completely grew up in Japan.
but he's it's there's a cultural
Better is Alexander Deinerstein,
right from Russia.
who's three-peat now
Yeah.
in the
In the
Korean
KBA,
system.
yeah.
the KBA. So it's
So there are these transplants, I guess, that
Yeah.
sort of move around and go. I mean, traditionally because it's played by three of the, we'll say just I don't know, not necessarily largest, I guess 2 of the 3 largest countries in Asia, right? I mean, it does have an international audience already, right? Just not in North America and Europe per se, right? It does have an international following.
But I mean, it's growing so much, right?
Yeah,
Like, we're really
that's why you're all here.
That's right. It's pretty cool.
So anyway, for tonight, the AGA had their webpage with all the news, like Ryan Lee, new professional, and had the game record of his last game on it. Which
How many people saw that? How many people were following the news? Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, you're killing me.
This is the double-digit Q.
That's
not the same.
all right.
It's quite all right. You guys are like Tanuki.
There you go. Play elsewhere. The AGA does have a free newsletter, which sent a lot
Yeah,
of stuff
absolutely.
out.
Yep. Anyway, I just saw the game and I was like, oh, we have a new pro. We should do like a lecture or a class review of like the newest professional. Like that should be the top. We should just talk about the newest pro. And I don't actually know a whole lot about Ryan 'cause I didn't go to this year's
Oh, yeah.
Congress.
He's a great guy.
And I think this was the first
His
year he
first
went.
Congress,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
the year I don't go, and he's the new pro. Great.
He's 20. He lives in Toronto. He's studying physics. Nice guy. Just really, really interested actually in doing videos.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I'll expect my own phone call.
Oh yeah. He'll want you to set him up, man. We had some talk. That's right.
Well, I'm now on this kick to do the theme music for all the English Go casters.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I've got you now. I've got
That's
you, I've got
right.
Haley.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
How was my left game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was like 20 minutes. It was like, Haley, do you want some theme music? I guess. I don't know. Here you go.
And that's how these things happen.
That's how it is. All right. So anyway, this game was the final game, the game that of course made Ryan Lee a professional.
Sure.
He is white. Andrew has informed me that this is actually probably the worst game to review of the series.
No. They're all good games. They're all good games. This one was the one.
The
where-
worst good game.
Well, it was the toughest one for Eric, who was black here. So
There's Eric.
okay, there. Yeah.
But certainly, when I was looking through, there was really like I think 3 really cool parts for me to see.
Sure.
And so I'm definitely going to highlight these for you. Andrew did like we mentioned to some of you earlier, the commentary with Mingwon Kim, 9-dan professional from Korea. So I'm assuming you.
I might have retained
osmosed
some of it.
some
Yeah,
of
we'll
that.
see how much of that is just gone.
Well, good. So this will be a good
I
test
don't
for you
know.
then too.
Yeah, I'm totally crashing his class here. When he sent out that message that he was gonna do this, I said, "Oh, hey, cool. Which one?" And then,
This happened an hour ago, by the way.
that's right. This happened an hour ago.
So, yep.
So like I said, tell me what you want me. Eric played this. Eric played this Fuseki in a lot of different games.
Oh, yeah.
He played this cross Fuseki.
I think this is good for black. I mean, I would
Yeah.
play this as black.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun with it. There was a lot of really interesting variants. If you want, all the game records from this are on there. Already we're making choices, so maybe we won't get too crazy.
Well, so people who've been in my class before, why is this okay for black, but why would white never play something like this?
Because black gets the 5th move.
Yeah, black gets the quote-unquote 5th move if white takes this corner. There's one side of the board that's much wider than all the others, so we want to play over there, and it's black's turn, so black's cool with that. The downside for this, I think, for black is black to some degree. I think the default black strategy is because I get the first move. It's easier for me, the black player, to build. Right? I don't have to destroy. I can just continue building just one step faster than you. And the problem when you play a cross game is inherently you're not really building, right? You're starting out with the premise of destruction.
Of smaller things, yeah.
Yeah, I build smaller things.
Right.
So I want to build a big thing because I'm black.
That's right. That's exactly. I heard it explained that way. That with one big territory, the Komi isn't as important.
That's right.
Whereas if you have a whole bunch of 5-point territories, the Komi now is really big.
That's right.
So
All right, so here we go. Time to be an almost. Oh no, white is the American professional.
White
Right?
is
Try to
the
be as strong as the American professional.
So would this be considered a professional game yet because he wasn't that professional at the time?
No, this is strictly amateur hour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's an amateur tournament, trying to get to be pro.
Okay.
I mean, this is strictly amateur hour.
That's how it is, too. All right, so what do you think White played?
The start one. I don't remember.
Good. Oh, so this will be a test for you. No, White didn't play the cross game. I think this is viable. I think White can play this and be happy.
Totally.
Approach that one.
Yeah, what Black made a bigger side of the board. White's like, okay, I know you want this. I know you really want this. You just set up the whole thing this way. I'm just going to take it right now. If you want, you can even have the last corner. But I'm just not letting you get the biggest side of the board. And guess what Black did?
Took the corner.
Yeah, took the biggest corner. Right? Not too hard. Okay, so now what do we do, White? Yeah, it looks like Black is actually starting to build something big. We just talked about Black wants to build something big. How can we prevent Black from building something really big?
15
Renting
or
the
15
enclosure.
Right there. Hey, look at that. You guys are like nearly one Don American professional.
Yeah.
Right there.
All of us together,
It's like
baby.
saying you're a professional Canadian basketballers.
That's right.
They're professional Canadian.
Next move, fairly normal, Joseki. I'm not in love with this in this case, but I mean it's a move. It's hard to question. Since it's so common. White plays here. Black pulls back. And where's the next move?
Can check for White.
Yeah, this is Joseki.
Protect the cut.
However, White plays this. I'm sorry, one. No, it was
Taisha.
Taisha.
Well,
Oh.
not Taisha,
White's just like, I am
Invitation.
getting all in your territory, right?
Right.
Or your
Right.
influence, anyway.
Yeah, so why is White doing this? Why isn't White protecting? And the first part of the answer you have to realize is you have to know what happens when Black cuts here. I think you should know this.
Well, let's start with the easier one. What happens when White connects there?
Oh, okay, let's do that.
Because you also have to know that too.
That's good.
You're choosing between a couple of different
Where does
sequences.
Black play?
In between.
Somewhere on the
In this
right.
case, probably here.
Here or there. Either one is fine.
I think this is too defensive.
Nah.
Yeah? All right, Andrew thinks it's fine. I would play here.
So White can choose to do this, right? This is not territory. This is still invadable, right? There's a couple of different ways to invade this. So it's not territory, but it is some thickness. So White wants to leave off on making this choice until he's decided that's what he wants.
Well, White can also choose this later if White needs to be more defensive. Sure. So in some cases, you'll see White leave this alone when White doesn't know what White wants.
Right.
In this case, I don't think that's the reason, though, in this situation.
Yeah?
I think he sees this game as if we get in a fight over here,
Uh-huh.
Black never has time to cut, right? We can. I think it's a timing
Interesting.
thing.
Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy that.
All right. So this is also a very famous Joseki. Anyone know its name? We've already mentioned it.
Taisha.
Taisha, the great slant. This is
Diagonal.
Great diagonal. Is that what it translates more literally? Okay. Anyway, this is the Joseki of 1,000 variations. When you play this, you are making a statement. It's almost more like it's more like trash talk.
You think so?
You don't. It has baggage.
I feel like I should sit here. I don't know what you're going to talk about, right? We just planned this out an hour
You
ago.
just reviewed this with a
Well, I did,
nine-hour
but I want to
professional.
hear what you have to say. Is that all right?
It's fine. Okay. All right.
No, I'm trying to. I want to
You have to contribute too. We brought you here to work, not sit on your
Oh
lazy
my
bones.
God. Okay. Well, I'll get up.
Okay. So this is like a call to arms. This is a challenging move. This is, you and me, bro. We're going down. Something's going down tonight. Okay. Very, very complicated. Most professionals avoid it. Like they just don't have to deal with it.
You just don't like it?
Because it makes the match less predictable, or what?
Well, it's. I mean, they've certainly spent many hours studying it, for sure. But go. You can think about where do you get your own enjoyment from Go? Where do you think you have the edge in terms of Go? Is it minute reading of these 50 move long sequences? Is it your global strategy is one thing better? There's a lot of things that may or may not make you want to play Taisha. But in a lot of Go today, these tournaments are timed games, where do you feel like having to read out 8 50 move sequences in 30 seconds and being 100% accurate? Do you feel like doing that today?
More importantly, are you sure you're going to do it better than the guy
And are
across the table?
are you sure
Yeah.
you're going to do it better than your opponent? So, I mean, it's avoided. It's avoided, but it's a thing. And, you know, I've played it in tournament games. Clearly, you know, Ryan Lee feels confident to play it. And I think it's not just psychological. I think in here it makes sense too. It looks like, you know, again, that default black strategy of black is trying to build something isn't really working out. And after this move, it really doesn't work out. Right? It feels like these are no longer, we're not trying to make thicknesses white. These are reduction moves. So black's never going to build anything big. So we're going to start sort of continue with that. You want to add anything?
No, sounds great.
All right.
Also that there's a ton of ladder considerations.
Yes, yeah.
That
right.
go up to this
Any
opposite
50 move sequence, there's going to be ladders.
Right.
And white's going, hey, look at me. These might actually be useful. I don't want to even
We're not
try
gonna
to
go
find
there,
a ladder
right.
sequence.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of them. Black takes this. What is black saying to white here?
I'll take you up on your offer.
Yeah, like,
This is
that's fine. You
this is
want
what you get from that.
Well, some degree it's not taking him on his offer, right? Because this is black avoiding the Taisha, right? To fight the Taisha, almost always starts with this, right? It's like white's trying to surround you on both sides. We have to cut through. And black's just, no, I'm not dealing with that today.
Oh, so he's like, I'm not going to let it get to a point where there could be a ladder here. I'm just cutting right now.
Yeah, let's cut right now. Let's you know,
Yeah.
you didn't follow through over here. You have weak stones.
It's more like you ignored me, I'll ignore
Yeah,
you.
it's you want that? Fine, I'm going to take this. They're moving past each other.
I see.
And this is really sort of the theme of the game for a little while at least, where one player will take this and the other player's like, meh, I'll go do something else. And this is a good spirit to have and go, right? It's often better to ignore your opponent and go do something else that you think is better or bigger rather than just respond to everything your opponent wants to do. Very common.
But possibly when black ignores that, possibly theoretically white could just jump in and grab a corner.
This corner?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Except white plays this one. And I have a couple reasons for why white would do this right now. I can show you my reasons. Number one, the sequence that comes off of this, we asked you this earlier, like you have to sort of know what happens here. White can actually extend and sort of make this thing over here, but black gets this wall thickness over here. And if white already has a stone over here, well, hey, then maybe we can, you know, actually use it and make a good chunk of points here. Second, white's still expecting a fight down here, right? White is sort of expecting this giant fight. And this stone, believe it or not, will actually be useful. If black just sort of runs out this way, you know, we can just run alongside it, stay strong, take points, and
Another way to think about it is that these two moves are really, they're far this way, right? They're really oriented towards this side. With another move, white can make a lot of thickness on this side.
yeah, exactly. Right, and if there's not a fight, right, we can just, you know, simply make a wall, and now we have potential. So, guess what black does? Oh, thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
We said there was a theme to this game.
Atari, take the.
Not yet, actually. Soon, though. Do you think black's going to start this fight now?
No.
They're in the bottom.
The V start point.
That's close.
I don't like this move for black.
Neither did Mill like him.
Really?
You're like 90 now.
I'm like 9 Don.
Yeah.
I think this is really slack.
It's too not severe enough.
It's but here's what black is thinking. Black's going, hey, this is getting really strong. This is like a giant wall now, right? These two white stones are cut. There's some Aji they can run out, but they're not strong. Mm-hmm. So I have a wall facing a stone. Mm-hmm. I need to capitalize on this potential, right? I need to make sure white can't live in here easily to use my wall.
So where would you play instead?
I
You would do this? You'd go,
Fight the power.
all right, how do you not do this at this point?
I don't know. The other one suggested just doing this one.
Oh, taking it right away.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm the 9P.
Yeah. Yo, that was your move. Wow, definitely 19. Man, you teaching it right in here.
He's not really in the class anymore.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of hang around eating
Oh yeah.
food.
Wednesdays don't work for you, is that it? I'm hurt.
No,
Aw.
sorry.
That's the move I wanted. I figured it must be wrong.
I would dearly like to.
Oh yeah.
Well, we are going to see this move, right? This is
Yeah.
very, very
Watching
big.
your videos.
Because not only does it basically kill
Well, the
this.
thing about 13-3 there is if white didn't take it, it's because he thinks that 3-5 is bigger.
3-5.
I mean, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, certainly after white has this area also has lots of potential,
Yeah.
right? So for black to sort of help ruin this potential is a really big deal.
Yeah.
So this move is really big because
So,
white
which makes-
is building this way.
Since it's so big for black, it makes me think that that would be big for white too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But white thinks the other one's bigger?
Oh, I think ultimately, the quantity of these mistakes is not very large. Like, these are not big mistakes.
This one makes me feel bad though.
It makes you feel bad.
This one I wouldn't want to be black. And here's the other reason why I wouldn't want to be black is it feels like all of my stones are on one side of the board.
Right.
You know,
Except this
I-
guy who's you're now going to have to
Except this one, right? Because once I play this, I'm pretty sure this is the next one. I'll double check and
For
we'll
sure.
think here. Oh yeah.
So now if black wants, this stone can live.
Yes.
He can make this stone live by playing here, and here, or here, depending. But white gets really thick when he does that. Unfortunately, if he doesn't do anything, white will also get very thick like this. So, but it's probably worth exchanging at least, and then deciding if you want to come back. Because if you don't even exchange it, now you have no choices.
I'm not sure about that. You think?
I'm pretty sure about that. Little 9P told me.
The line
Yeah.
piece is sort of all right.
Ready.
Oh, this still feels like it has
There's a little
points
bit.
that do things. I guess it's only a real point.
That's maybe the only way.
Well, wait, it's black's move. Black gets a turn.
Right.
So black goes, that's nice. There you go.
Oh, this wasn't, that's right.
Well, white doesn't get 2 moves in a row, Andrew. This is a game called Go.
Oh, man. I'm in the wrong place. I got it.
Black comes over here, right? If, and again, as Andrew pointed out, if black does decide to make this live, white gets a wall here and here. So we want to have a stone extending from our wall.
Even though it's not there yet. This is like...
Even though it's not there yet, right? You want to play as if it was, right? Because clearly, if we just take this,
Well, it's also like I can play here and get a wall this way, and I can play... Black can play here and get a wall this way. So in all of these alternate futures, white has a wall this way. So this is a nice place to play.
that's right. That's right. But also thinking about black's development area, right? If we just come back and take this, and black takes something like here, one of these moves over here. Now all of a sudden, this thickness over here, which is very strong for black, is not just taking 4th line territory, but is starting to form, an 8th line, 9th line moyo. It's not there yet. Of course, it's not perfect, but we're deepening the potential for this giant black territory. So white doesn't like that, right? Wants to kill that potential right away. And this greatly limits the size, the potential for size of this thing. Black plays a pretty normal response. Again, just staying strong, connected, and high.
Wait, is that 13-3 stone there now?
That one up there? Yeah.
Yeah, this,
That is
yeah.
Like that?
This was in response to this.
Yeah, so white does in fact play here, and then black
Oh,
is here.
Yeah, that was the exchange.
Wow. Why doesn't he just play on that line?
For white or
On
black?
the top. Why doesn't black play on that line to the left? Because now he has some stones. No, I mean like after that stone, another one just like even
Over here?
closer. Yeah.
Over-concentrated.
Huh?
Over-concentrated.
Over-concentrated?
Yeah, we're already too strong over here. We're very strong now. So,
Sorry, hang on. I'm not sure I understand your question.
Area, though.
like, you want to play here?
Like even further.
Oh, okay, possible. But white's strong too, right? So we could.
Make a fight.
They're still odd. This is still hard to develop for black.
Is your question why this stone is here?
No.
I think
It's
white.
why this stone isn't here.
Yeah.
Like
Why did he? That. Yeah.
Well, this here's the other thing, right? We said this area is important, right? Because if black were to get it, he would flint stones across the room.
Yeah.
But black would deepen this moyo, right? After black plays this, black can now attack this stone, right? Black can actually come back and
Yeah.
destroy, attack, potentially give this some more agility. There's a lot of things over here that.
Right now, these are both a lot less settled than this is. Like, this is
Yeah.
really settled. A white play, here would be a big deal.
I think it has more to do with weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing really weak over here.
Okay, that makes sense.
The
There's weak
relative
stones over
temperature
here.
is higher.
Okay.
So we want to play in the places where there's potential for
Okay.
weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay. After this is the move where white comes back and says, "All right, you got yours, I get mine."
This is really thick.
Yes. Yeah.
Super, super.
And right now, this looks like a pretty good, I mean, it's black's move, so keep that in mind, but it looks like white is having a pretty good game, right? All of black's living stones right now are on one side of the board.
So now black's going to attack that stone.
Black has to attack this stone.
Yeah,
This is the
has to.
only thing black can do
Okay.
to try to get back in this game at this point. So how do we attack this stone? Kick. There it is.
Attack.
Why do we kick?
We're going to do this
Wouldn't
first.
white just go up?
White does go up.
But now white's facing his other stones, though.
But
So
whose
now
move is it?
North there.
Whose move? It looks like, hey, we're building here.
Yeah.
But look, we have a two stone wall. How many spaces should we have an extension away from a 2 stone wall?
3.
3. Is there a stone here?
No.
For white.
Okay, good. For anybody. Well, yeah, for white. Do we have a stone there?
No.
Okay, good. We're attacking this.
Okay.
The purpose of the kick is to make the white stones heavy, right?
Make white connect.
Oh,
Commit.
make white stones heavy.
Yeah, if we just come over here, white goes, I need corner. I don't need this stone. I just take corner.
Would you take the corner?
In this case, white has a lot of options.
And then you get a wall all around him.
All right, here.
if he does
We'll do this in order. Here we go. White, we'll play this move first. It's one. There's a few ways to do it, but let's just play this one because this is just points, right?
Okay.
Now, white's threatening to connect to this stone.
Uh-huh.
How does that make you feel?
That.
Okay, so what do you do about it?
Block that. Or that.
Okay, so we can block it like this, right?
Yeah.
Then white goes, oh, but look at all these points you're trying to take. You get none of them.
Okay.
You can't kill this stone.
Yeah,
So
So these
black
guys
didn't get a lot.
These guys end up really close to the wall. White got your corner anyway, and made
And
this
a free
nice
move,
extension.
yeah.
I understand. Okay.
So, it's sort of like, you're telling white, is this stone, or you're asking white, is this stone important? Do you like this stone? And if white doesn't, black can do almost the same thing to this stone as white did to black stone, right? And then black's okay with that.
Yeah, but that doesn't kill. White can just connect it to the stone at some point.
Oh my gosh, but now you get really attacked.
But that's like, those stones can just go in between them. You can't split them from each other, yeah. And now white can go towards his stones.
How?
This is, I just want to say right now, this is really, really bad for white. Black's shape is really a lot better than white's shape.
Yeah, that's clear. That's clear.
Okay, then that's all we need to do to reject it.
Where are white's friends, is all I'm saying.
Well, we don't even need to do anything else. If it's clear that the shapes are bad, then that's sufficient.
White is running and black is building.
Right?
Yeah, white is running around like a madman in black sphere of influence. That's not going to end well for white. Black will find a way to profit. So black says, is this important? And white, of course, says, yeah, look, I want to build something here. Of course. And black says, okay, you're under attack.
It's the same situation, pretty much. It's the same situation we just went over, pretty much.
Well,
Almost the same.
almost.
It's not the same. It's not the same stone, but it's.
It's the same conceptually.
Conceptually.
Except in the other situation, we actually have one extra stone here. We're actually even more committed.
Yeah.
So
And the difference between one stone and the whole one.
that's true. And in this case, white still has things like this. The move that white plays here is this one.
And just give black the opportunity to keep them split.
And at this point, this is I'll tell you right now, like probably my weakest part of my entire Go game. Like my own skill, like this kind of situation
Black make a low base.
makes me insane.
Honestly, I thought this move by white was fine, but Myung-Lin Kim was like, I really don't like this move by white.
Yeah.
He thought this move was wishy-washy, and it gives white no good next move. So frequently, you can find out that you've made a mistake when you don't have any good moves afterwards. Like you're like, oh my gosh, nothing works. It's not that there's something that works now and you just can't see it. It's that your mistake was a few moves ago and you're just now finding it out. And the way you're finding it out is that nothing works. So he suggested that white should either, directly pressure this one, or just
a
jump,
simple jump.
do a simple jump. But this one, he has a bunch of problems.
Well, no, but this one in the end works out well for white because white is magic.
Yeah, there was some magic. There was some magic.
about to
That's
happen.
right.
So,
Solution to all our
but
problems.
yeah. But when white plays a move like this, if I'm the black player, I don't know what to do. Right? Because white is leaving this huge weakness, right? These things can sort of be pushed through and cut. And
2 space jumps can be cut.
2 space jumps are not strong. So I want to cut it. But if I cut it, well, maybe white gets around and maybe gets enough Aji to actually injure this stone. If I just take points here, well, this actually might feel like a good exchange for white. White might not have another move like this that actually gets white completely out, might threaten to swallow this.
It also reinforces
And reinforces this long connection. So I don't know what to do.
Yep.
I'll show you the move that Eric comes up with. And I can't recommend this move.
Really?
I mean, it looks so weird.
Really?
You think, do you young one like it?
Yes.
You liked it?
It's the right move.
It's this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now where does white play? That's the idea. The idea is that white, normally if you get ahead of in a running battle like this, you want to surround the other person, right? Like this is, so if these two groups are running this way and white's ahead, white would like to get around. Have you heard I guess it's Yang Yilun has this principle of jumping, alternating strong and weak,
Yes,
strong
yeah.
and weak.
Yeah.
This is weak and weak, right? Like both of these are weak. Whereas if white holds it to something like this isn't damaging enough to the connection, right? Like black can still connect underneath it. And this is not, it's not a super big deal if white tries to cut across the knight's move because we're going to give up 1/2 and
Yeah.
play lightly.
And black actually has a slider.
Yeah, and black actually has this ladder. That's a very good point. So,
Should I come to that?
so this also is aiming very severely at cutting across, right?
Yes. yes.
So this is the right way to put pressure on it. I agree that it's not the most intuitive thing that I would find.
It's just, well, this is what I'm saying. This is like a weak part of my game, right?
Yeah.
This move is just off my radar,
Yeah.
right? So when I'm looking at the situation in my game review, I was going just, oh man, I don't know what to do.
Those are great moves to find though. When you like,
yeah.
you're like, man, I wouldn't even look for that. Like,
It's off my radar.
yeah.
So that was, I mean, this is something that,
So that's basically telling white, if you go off and try to cut off my guys, I'll just cut you off.
that's right. That's right. You have a weakness. I'm gonna get a little bit stronger. Are you gonna play? You kind of have to play a slow move now.
Yeah.
And whenever your opponent tells you to play a slow move, what is your natural reaction?
Play fast.
Play a faster one.
Ignore the heck out of it.
Whoa.
See what did I tell you?
This was also not a good move.
I was going to say, that violates a lot of things that we've been
Well,
taught.
but here's the thing. Given the board situation and how this ended up actually quite good for white. And so this is, so of like I said, there were 3 really interesting parts of the game for me. Like this section, I'll say like here, and probably the next 20 moves, because this ends in a co-fight. It's just
That's right.
huge.
Right.
It's the first big, really interesting part of the
Do you
game.
guys know the name of this shape, by the way?
Hey, Mark and, not Jeremy.
Who knows the name of the shape?
Oh, Nathan and Mark, right? We just
Elephant jump.
Elephant jump. A weak jump, right?
Yeah. But this is an appropriate area of the board to use this type of movement. Just
It's a special tactic. The idea is that you are baiting them into playing in the middle, and you're going to give up one side to develop the other. So it is strictly special tactic. There's a couple of
Sabaki.
Josekis. Exactly, you're making Sibicky. Yeah.
I mean, I like this move.
Yeah?
I mean, if this is what the shape I'm looking
Let's
at.
say it makes the best of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Why
But
didn't you play one below that?
Here? Or sorry, below, this way.
Yeah.
in this case, cutting across the 2-point jump.
But couldn't you do that to the other move?
Yes, but this, I now get to,
Or underneath.
underneath too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, I see.
Right, I can more severely injure this stone, right? Oh, you
Yeah.
injure me, I injure you.
If I ignore this
Training
move,
for it then.
yeah, that's right. Ignoring this move doesn't have any bad effects. Like, you wouldn't do this as white because it's not going to have much of an
There's
effect.
nothing to bring
Whereas
it to.
it's-
Yeah.
Here, this is
Okay.
severe, yeah.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, and then after this, then I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, oh, okay.
He didn't know what to do either.
Black plays here, which is pretty natural.
We don't want to help white develop his shape. By Haneing, we're going to give white a lot of forcing.
This is a lot of points too, right? Because if we just get even just one more stone out here, Look at this nice chunk of points right here. So we're just letting white say, hey, you're weak. I'm just going to keep you weak. And as long as you're weak, I'm just going to take free points. That was big development.
Now, where would you
Very
play for
natural.
the next move here, Nick?
Where would I play?
Because I was watching, I would not
I
have.
played the move that got played.
You would have played the move that got played?
I'm not sure. I would probably play that. I would probably just get
yeah?
Agi and then run out. I would probably play something like this.
I would probably play this one.
You play that one?
Yeah, I would be deciding between those two.
Yeah.
So neither of us would be looking at the move that got played. So that's good to know.
Anyone want to guess what got played? You guys have any crazy harebrained ideas?
I was looking at Andrew's move or the other side of that
The other,
square.
this one and
Yeah.
this one. These are both locally a nice way to make shape when you have the elephant jump and they have it played in the middle. Both of these are nice ways to develop because the idea is you have tigers' mouths in either direction. So
Well, the reason I don't like your move though
yeah,
is this looks good, but it feels like all of a sudden now all of our corner Agi's gone.
looks good but isn't good. Yeah, you know,
We
it's
still
hard to
have
argue
this-
with that. We still have a
We
cut.
still have this problem.
I didn't say it was a good move.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of our moves are the move that got played.
So I would be looking. This is my sequence, I think, and it's probably terrible, but probably do something like this.
Oh, interesting. Cool. I dig it. I think you're closer to the key point than I am.
Anyone guess?
The latter move that you played, just without the former.
This one?
Yeah.
This doesn't really resolve the trouble we have.
Yeah. The problem is when we play this by itself, we're just running.
Yeah.
So
Not that Mind Exchange really helps either, but I feel like when I run out, it might put a little bit more pressure on black later. But
Honestly, I don't know.
probably not.
I don't know.
That's the move.
This one was tough, which none of these moves are good for white, honestly. And that's because this original 2-point jump is
But
not
magic.
But magic. Magic.
This, at least in this case, turned out to be a very good move, very strong, right? Because now we can see that these 3 stones, if they don't do something right now, they're actually going to end up in trouble. And meanwhile, what does this stone prepare?
Hane underneath.
Honey underneath.
And?
What connection does it help?
The elephant eye.
Yeah, it actually helps us a lot.
Interesting. Yeah. You guys know, have you guys read Attack and Defense? Any hands for Attack and Defense? So you guys have read that chapter. I'm going to borrow this position here.
As long as you put it back.
Okay. This idea of the invasion into the middle of a 3-space extension from the 3rd line to the 4th line. Common shape, right? So there's a way that black can get a ko by attaching underneath. White naturally will try and keep him from settling. Imagine this in an abstract side of the board that goes on forever rather than one that's so close to the corner. So this is just in the side of the board somewhere, some faces side of the board. So white wants to block you from making a base there. And then when black comes out like this, if white wants to, prevent black from getting a lot of Agi, he can't really do this because there will be Atari, so he needs to find something, right? And that leaves open, these responses leave open a ko always, where black and Hane, if white again doesn't want to fight the ko, black has a really eye-rich shape now, right? Whereas if white does this, black gets a ko. So this ko thing is a position that is almost always in these shapes where you're on the 3rd line and you're attaching with the 1-point jump under a 4th line move. Does that ring any bells over there? Yes, no, maybe?
Well, probably have black's move, it's not white's move yet.
That's right.
So let's play black's move first, and
So
then,
let's play
and then
black's move
then we'll try to live for a ko. So black,
Z separate.
yes, this way.
This was a questionable move.
I think so too.
I actually meant this one.
Oh, yeah? That's probably a good one. The other really good one is just this one.
That one, yeah.
Because this is where white goes to make that ko. And this ko, once white has done this, it's really hard to win ko's in the beginning of the game. Have you heard the proverb, there are no ko threats in the opening? This isn't quite the opening, it's close enough to the opening that it's going to be really hard for black to win. So, right? And since this exists, it would be helpful for black to just make the thick move and prevent it from being an issue.
The problem with the thick move, of course, is then we have moves like this that basically connect all the white stones and all of a sudden put a lot of pressure on this corner. And if black has to come back and play a move like this or something like it to live, now white gets out and is attacking again. But black got profit, so this would still be a game. But now instead of black doing the attacking, it's now white.
Okay.
So black didn't want it. And black pokes the elephant in the eye. White plays here. Or we play as black.
You have to Hane, right?
Yeah.
You don't want that thing to live easily. All right, here we go. Make this alive.
Does white play the ko?
Right over here.
Yep.
And
So you said this ko is really hard for black to win, but isn't black going to take the ko first?
black is going to take the ko first, so white has to make sure that white has at least one threat, if not preferably a local threat, but one or more threats that are related to this, right, to make sure that he doesn't have to find opening threats. So black takes it, black bites, and black doesn't really have a lot of good choices either, right? If black plays this is just Atari. If black just backs off, now, white will probably crawl again. Reduce, remember all this stuff we just got that we were so proud of? Like, we're happy? White's just going to keep poking in and gradually remove the potential for any ko or any weakness over here. If this was really already well defended, white could even just play here and just make eye shape. Or white could even come over here too. You have lots of options. So black says, no more. This is, we have to do this. So white plays here. One move for black. What is it?
Take the ko.
This is a really, really big ko. I want you to pretend for a second that black wins the ko. How does this look for black? Wow. How does these three white stones look for white? How do these three white stones look for white? Not healthy. This all looks like it's, there's still an invasion point. It's not quite black points yet, but black isn't in any real trouble because black has this stone here. And these two stones are attacking this. Everything that looks is coming up black.
In fact, I'd do you one better. I'd say give white 2 moves anywhere on this board.
Yeah.
And try and make it look good for white. Like,
it's hard.
it's hard,
It's
right?
hard, really hard. I could save this one, Andrew.
Yay!
Maybe if your 2 moves are Atari, make a Panuki there.
Maybe. That might be the best you can do. So what's
That's
white's
not
ko
bad,
threat?
that's not bad. Well, I don't remember. Oh yeah, what's this one?
You got to put white stone back.
No, because black takes the ko.
Black takes go, black takes go. Right place here. What is white trying to do?
Cut off the corner, right? Or cut through it.
Yeah, do you remember these 2 stones that were going to be cut off? And then this stone that was going to connect to this, but then that got cut off? Well, how about they all come back to life and they kill something? That'd be good, right?
Stranger things are possible.
Stranger things are possible. Black doesn't like that either. But the stone can also have an effect over here later, right? This is not dead yet, or not. It's certainly not dead yet, but it's not useless yet either. It's not an empty ko threat. Because if white ever does win this ko, white can surround these stones, and all of a sudden we have another ally on the inside. All right, so white takes back. Black does have a local ko threat. Where is it?
Descend.
Pick me. Oh no, they got it.
Sorry.
Well, Tom got it. The rest of you, I don't know about.
Tom, you talking too much?
Here it is, right? So this is a local threat. If white just fixes the ko, black just takes this.
Why is that called a local threat?
I'm gonna rely on my compatriot here to answer that question.
Oh, it's called a local threat because it has a direct bearing. Like, white can't win the ko just by connecting, right? White just connects, right? White wants to win the ko by capturing the stones. I don't know, man. I'm trying to throw this.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. White plays here though. Now, black made a local, this is where the code gets to level 2 interesting. It's going to go to level 3 interesting, just foreshadowing here, okay? But this is when the code gets to level 2 interesting because white isn't responding to this local threat. Right? This would be a normal response to this local threat, right? You're going to threaten to get an extra liberty so you can take the outside. I'm going to take away so I can still just win the co and kill you. Okay, do you guys see how that works? Black will take the co next and then still co-op. White doesn't respond that way. White comes over here. And again, we're still looking at the stick in here, right? The stick that may or may not be connected to the outside, depending on who gets a move. Black does not like the idea of any of this living. Black would like the corner, so black will respond. Because again, if this corner lives, and all of a sudden this stick is kind of weak, we have to keep responding or just let it die. White presses. White says, oh, remember that stone I threw in there? I want to make it live, and if this lives, then all these will live, and then we don't have to fight the co. I got to live in your corner, right? It's all good. And black's all like, no. And white's like, please. And black's like, no. And white's like, please. Now this move is really interesting because this is normally a bad move. The reason why it's a bad move is because often we want to play this one.
Why?
Because endgame. It's endgame.
Why is it endgame?
See, I took your corner. I got my... This is just saying, I just want these are suicidal. They just want to die. But we're talking about Ryan Lee, the newest American professional player.
Yeah.
He doesn't have suicidal tendencies on the go board.
Right. Well, maybe.
Well,
He's crazy wind on KGS.
I've heard that.
Plays the Blitz games, yeah. So
I've never actually watched them though.
They're pretty strong with that one.
So this is the game. So why is white playing this kind of move? And at this time, I think white still has well over an hour on his clock. This is not a time suji. If it was a time suji, it'd be a bad time suji because of those points.
It increases his local threats.
Give the man a prize.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. He's making co-threats.
He's building co-threats. Right? He's basically saying, this part of the board where he probably wouldn't have responded to all these earlier, if I play them right now and get a response, the next one I play is worth a lot. Right? I'm manufacturing an important area of the board. Because now when white plays over here, it's not just white getting the corner. It's white killing this and then still threatening this. Before, if white were to just Hane as the co-threat, black would be like, oh, you can take these points in the corner, I can still connect and kill this one, and I'm fine. But now it starts to get more dangerous.
Is there like a training version of the game where there's a huge code in the middle of the board and every person's turn is just making
Trying to
threats?
find a threat.
Yeah.
No, we can do that later.
Seems like that would be a pretty interesting game.
That would be a fun game to try and
They'll
do.
probably teach you how to make good code threats very quickly.
Or really build really bad habits really quickly. When your opponent isn't smarter than you and just follows you around. It's
a two-player game, yeah.
There's a light side and the dark side. Okay, so now that white has basically amplified this part of the board. Remember this thing? No. Let's make it bigger. We're going to co-fight level 3. Right, before this was just supposed to live small, right? This was supposed to look something like this. But now, after we've added all these stones in here, if white wins this, white has a group like living all through here.
Black loses a lot.
Yeah, black is tempted. If black disconnects, white now comes back and is actually connected through this side, right? White already has this free stone here.
Well, the co strikes again.
Yeah. But when white presumably wins the co because of all these extra threats, that happen. So black takes the co. It's like, okay, we're making this bigger. Okay, I means I got to take right now. All that comes down here. It says, remember this? All this stuff, this trash I threw down here, made this area of the board much more important.
This is the point where I'd be tempted to connect the code, screw the rest.
Give it up. Just I'm out.
Really does.
White would get a really big
Not the
corner.
game, not the game.
So if this, in this case though, this is a really big corner for white because
And it was black's corner, right? Black had 2 stones there.
Well, black gets a lot here. It's not enough to balance the loss here because this is such a thick position, right?
Well, and if black doesn't want these to die, right? Like,
He's still, yeah,
there
he
still needs moves.
still needs moves, right?
So this is not the game. Black says, okay. I'll respond to the ko threat. White gets to take the ko. Black needs a threat.
Where should he go?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I mean, I know what he played.
Does he have a local threat?
That's not really good enough.
Well, it's a local threat, though. What does
Yeah.
white do?
Well, black doesn't play this.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But we couldn't figure out why.
Oh, really?
We couldn't figure out why. Because it's better
It's,
for
it's
him-
better to have this shape.
Like, for white now to win the ko, if white just plays like this, black plays here, and since the corner, white hasn't gotten anything in compensation for this ko fight, right? So white to win the ko has to play here,
Yep.
right? Where am I? Yeah, so white has to play here, then black takes the ko again.
And it has to find another threat.
White finds a threat, probably this one. But either way, if white wins the ko now, white's shape would look like this, right? Right? So hold on to this one, because if white wins the ko the other way, white's shape looks like this,
And it's further out that way.
right? This has this is a really different effect on the stone look here. So we were all scratching our heads wondering why he didn't connect the local threat.
Did the 9-dan professional have any ideas?
No, he said, of course he should connect. So,
So black decided to take a global threat.
Did Lee, or
Whatever reason. And he might have just been scared of
did
it.
Eric say anything about why he made that choice?
he might have said he misclicked. I don't know. It's a good question.
Don't know. Well, I suspect he's also probably trying to count the threats number here.
Maybe,
And just going, oh poopies, oh poopies, oh poopies, I'm going to have to respond to 3 more threats.
maybe.
What can I
that's
get
also
away
possible.
with? What can I get away with?
Either way, even if you know you're going to lose it,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
better to
yeah.
lose it with this
For sure.
position than to lose it with the other position.
Yep.
It's a good question. I don't know. I didn't have the chance to ask him.
This is the threat he comes up with.
That doesn't look nearly big enough.
It is not. In fact, white takes the next move. I think I figured out. You can tell me if anyone
Okay.
Kim has a theory here.
No?
But you know, I saw at least in the game report, people were asking that I saw, like Q players like you guys, not good people. Why didn't black play this one? And I think I actually have an answer for this.
Yeah.
This one looks more severe. But does anyone want to give it a shot first? Like, why does black play this one? And this one still might be better than this one. But at least there's an intuitive reason why black doesn't want to play this one.
Tell me.
Is trying to white to connect underneath and be stronger.
But if we get a response like this, that's good for us. We can go back and fight the ko.
That's the whole point, yeah.
So we have to compare this versus this, right? This is the situation. Which one would we rather have?
I mean, essentially,
I assume if you play 4-4, your follow-up is to push through and separate the stones.
Presumably.
And then, I guess white can play 5-3 and still live inside an area that could otherwise be big for black.
This is already
maybe?
a big success for black, actually.
If
White
white
shape
plays
is
that
totally
way.
ripped in half.
I mean, it's still really good for black, but
Right.
I assume maybe that's why.
Yeah, but I think so too. Like, so we're justifying this one versus this one. Like, this is so bad for white, right? Like, this locally is bad for white.
Sure.
So, but at least white stones are in the right direction. Where, you know, black had a lot of potential this way, and now we're sort of ruining it. That's the best I can come up with. Why black wouldn't take this?
Well, okay. The reason that it was explained to me was that that white will answer. White has a couple more threats down here, so white will answer this now,
And it's a local loss.
and it's not even it's
Oh,
a
so
local
it's
loss,
yeah.
and there's no good follow up for black to make more threats. Whereas if black had done what he should have done, which was this one, and he said this one is better than this one. If black had done this one, you know, if white responds, there are lots of follow up threats here for black, right? Whereas the other way, once this happens, there's like no, like the follow-up isn't very severe, and in this one, this is okay for white to make this response and then ignore the next threat. So that's kind of complicated that's based on a lot of nonsense. So.
Well, to some degree, I think you know, a code fight is something like not necessarily a bluffing game, but it has like that element of it of, you know, maybe I can find a bigger threat, and I know that you can see that I have a bigger threat. Maybe you'll let me off the hook with this one because I know that after my next big threat, I don't have any more threats. So maybe you'll let me take this one. Like it has a little bit of that element.
That's an interesting way to think of it. I like that.
You
That's
know,
cool. That's cool.
it works more in Q games.
I dig it.
don't think it works in high-level games, but maybe it does. You know? Well, I mean, they have complicated situations too. Anyway, if black is making plays like this is a bad play, right? I mean, black is in trouble. If you see black playing, this is a co-threat. Either way.
Yeah.
So white does take. White, you know, this isn't big enough.
So black's follow.
Black's solve is here. Except this is really funny, and even the Q players kind of made fun of this.
Yeah?
Yeah, on the KDS.
This is kind of an indication of why this is not, why this wouldn't be the threat you want, because then if this is your biggest follow-up,
Right.
like white's not going to care, right?
But this is the same exact situation, just transposed. So.
Exactly, so it kind of explains what you do.
I guess black has to follow through on his threat to have it make any sense, but isn't it actually bigger to come back and not lose your entire corner?
What do you mean?
So black,
Looking at these.
black played another move to follow up his co-threat there, but I mean, even if he takes that stone, is that really bigger than?
Does black owe a move here? Excuse me. And if so, why?
Not yet. Black doesn't owe anything, right? But
Oh
white-
yeah, no, he responded to the last. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
but
yeah.
but there are some danger sequences.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, later on, but they're later. Yeah, black has responded every time over here. So, black plays this. Does this look familiar?
Yes.
This has a name.
Avalanche.
Avalanche. Black's co-threat was to play a Joseki.
But a Joseki that he chose the direction in.
That's true. This is true, right? So the reason why black is okay with this again because here's black's strength. Want to build a wall facing our strength. So black's cool with this.
But it's definitely not as much as he lost. He lost a lot.
Oh yeah.
He loses a lot of things.
White threatens to play large Avalanche Joseki, which indeed does, and continues. Pretty normal for the first, I guess, 8 or so moves, I think. And then we get off book.
If you like memorizing Joseki, this is a good one to work on.
Our last lecture of 2014 was I think it was Goseki, right? No, last lecture, not last class period, but our last lecture was Goseki, right?
Oh yeah?
Well, it's Joseki. This is a move that Goseki popularized and quote unquote invented. This is the Goseki variation, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Oh, I do know that. I watched your video.
I don't think we talked about that one.
I'm getting stronger. I'm trying to make single digit Q.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm proud of you. I should know how to play this
Without looking at it. But
without looking
actually,
at it. But they do get off book here.
they get off
They
book.
get off book.
There's
yeah, which is-
another interesting mistake. Yep.
Yes.
I think it's white who gets off book first, right? Oh, I already got off book. I wasn't supposed to play that. I did it. I played the wrong move. I wasn't Joseki. I flipped those last two. This is a very tenuous situation, right? Because these stones still have liberties, but they're not dead yet. These are dying. This white group only has 3 liberties. It's crazy, right? This is the large Avalanche Joseki, though. Like this is when you play large Avalanche, this is happening. Okay, this is just kind of how it goes.
You feel like you're on a tightrope.
Yeah, it's every move is very, very important. Now these stones, right, are being surrounded.
And so are these stones. And so are these stones. And so are these stones. And so are these stones.
That's right.
Anyway.
Now at this point, right, I believe like the most standard version of Joseki is just for white to play here. White does not. So white decides to get off book. And I don't really know why.
This isn't Joseki.
This isn't Joseki?
This is off book.
That's off book?
Yeah, it's off book.
I thought that's just,
That's crazy. Black is
I
supposed
thought-
to make the turn first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought these were Miyai.
No. Well, maybe, but...
I was taught these were Miyai.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea, this is the right punishment. This is what I heard. Marilyn got very excited about this and animated. I tried to follow all of it. But my understanding is that this is off book. And that black should first turn to figure out what white's going to do here. And then he can come back and attack.
So I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought this was like the traditional old way to do it.
Oh, yeah?
But now these are thought of as
New
Miyai.
school? Man, we're going to have to check. We're going to have to check.
I mean, if anyone Kim gets excited, you should just do what he says, though.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Anyway. I'm too young to be going to see that out.
So white plays this, and this is a weird shape, right? Just look at all the cuts. Normally when we play large Avalanche Joseki, white ends up with this shape. This is more like what it should look like. So I was looking at this and I was going, I'm not sure if this is good for white. I mean, it looked in the end like white got the result, but I'm looking at white shape the whole time going,
Good for white.
White-O's moves, White-O's moves. So I was worried for white.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like, man, they're off book. Something weird is going on.
So,
Now let's play
so I was recording the other game for the first, I don't know,
Loser?
the first hour of the game.
Okay.
And then after Myung-Won was ready to start his commentary, that was when I switched to this. So I didn't
Okay.
see the first part of the game with the same attention that I had for the rest of the game.
Gotcha.
So.
And then black brings these 2 stones out. And then, very strange move. Remember how these are cuts over here? Well, let's make my cuts even more severe. Oh, but it does give this as a definitive Atari.
Right, white gets to get up off the second line.
That's right, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now white finally has to come back and sort of fix. Now there is a potential for a ko in this corner, but as of right now, in most circumstances, these 3 stones are dead. Because white can make an eye. But there are still complications in the corner that you have to keep in mind for the next 50 moves of this game if you play this variation.
How many folks have heard of a double ko? Also called a co-threat factory. How many people know that this is a classic co-threat factory? It's a classic co-threat factory. Now you know. Wait, do you remember how?
No, I actually didn't know this was the ko factory shape, so you have to remember it now on camera.
As long as white gets a first move, right?
And triple code is just someone getting stabbed.
That's right, that's right.
No, black has to get the first.
Anyway, we should deal with the
All right,
outside.
all right, he doesn't know. See, there we go.
Totally no. I can tell you anytime.
Black gets these 3 stones out, right? So black is leaving these for later. Oops. White comes back here to start this. This isn't really anything. Gosh, I don't remember why. I had a reason. I remembered, but then I forgot why. I don't remember why. Anyway, White comes back here and fixes.
Oh, black just high.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Now it's a co-thread factory. I think I come.
You don't know.
The position ends up like this,
Right. Oh, yes.
right? Black can take this and threaten to capture, and then white can take the other one. And then so black has an infinite source of co-threats worth about 30 points. So he can win any co that's more than 30 points.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my job.
All right, so over here, let's do a little group analysis. How safe is this black group?
Not very.
Well,
Tenuous.
It can kind of run, I guess.
no, there's a ladder, right? If Atari, and then, well, I'd have to see whether the ladder actually goes. It looks like it goes to a black stone. If black cuts and white extends and black Ataris again and white extends again, then he can ladder the other 3 white stones.
That's correct. And white can then squeeze the top black stones,
Yeah.
Yes.
and thus getting a big wall pointed towards black's potential in the upper right.
Like, white wins the game if he gets that. Because he already has that split in half on the right.
But you're right, he can catch it in a ladder. The next question is, should he catch it in a ladder? And that's a harder question.
He can do it from the other direction though, too.
Yes, it's possible. So, well, it's less ideal, right? Because now all of a sudden, white might capture these, right? Just keep up the ladder and take these off the board. So if you're going to play, you want to play it in this direction, preferably. Good. How strong is white here? So black can just live immediately, right? By capturing this. How strong is white? Not.
Yeah, he doesn't have any shape, any short of liberties everywhere.
That's right. So black actually doesn't take the ladder. Black just takes the outside. And white's okay with this. It's like, okay, I didn't die. Or at least those three stones didn't die. And if your stones aren't dead, that's good usually. But black is going to try to profit by attacking them. And this brings us to the middle part of the game. And we're not going to do the whole game, but I do want to show you sort of how this running fight goes. And there is a kind of a cool wedge to Suji that I bet White knew about a lot longer before everybody else watching this game. Did you see this part?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
everyone's like, whoa. It's like one of those, like, does it work? Oh, it works. And it's, it's one of those things you can see after you play it. It's like, oh, it's totally safe, no problem. But it looks like like things are going to die, which is always the most fun. It's one of those things where everyone's going to die. It's just one of those things, and then one of those, then everyone miraculously lives. It's just really neat. So
This is a great set of moves.
I have to make sure I don't screw up these attacking points. Right, black wants to keep up the attack on this. Black wants to keep up the attack on this. White wants to keep up the attack on this. Right, so we're both groups just sort of running this way. White tries to get a little more strength. Black takes this peep. And they're okay making this exchange because black, this is Sentai now, right? So they both end up just sort of running in this direction. Look what we have here, people. Shape from last turn. What do we call these?
Bamboo joints?
Bamboo joints. Whoops, I missed a move. I really move. I don't remember this move in the game at all. Wow. Apparently black played that one now.
Here's a move just below.
Yeah, actually this is really big. Because if black doesn't play this, white has this. Start forming eye shape. Come back and attack this. But I don't know if it's correct or not. I really don't remember that game when I've reviewed this game the last few times. So right now both these players think these are safe. So white goes and plays a very severe move because this group doesn't really have a base. Black just leans on it. Black is just looking for shape. And black is so strong, doesn't mind leaving weaknesses in this case. White peeps. If white can just take this, then these stones never have to run anywhere else again. So black decides that they are important.
What's the
Position
score?
coming in the corner.
What's the score? Anybody got an estimate who's leading, who's ahead, who's behind?
For sure, white, right?
For sure, white, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to
Black
say
lost a lot here.
Yeah.
Black has this.
Right, these are dead for black. This is white's.
They're mostly dead.
It's white's turn right now.
It is when it is
These
white's
guys are
turn.
running.
Yep. It's
So-
hard to see how black's going to come back.
These are probably dead, but they're not dead in a big way, right?
There's Aji left.
Black needs to attack this really hard to have a chance.
That's right.
That's sort of the net result here. White already got a lot from black having to attack this group
Well,
by being
not-
able to play this and this and this and this.
And not only does black need to attack this, black needs to make sure that this group ends up being safe, right? Because this group is in danger. And so both these groups are just sort of leaning on each other, right? They're happy to lean on each other because, well, if I can lean on you, make you uncomfortable, and make myself comfortable, then it's good. So you see these sorts of moves where they're just rubbing elbows. For a little while at least. Until right here, where white's like, start a fight. Right on the precipice of where you're weak and I'm not dead yet. Wouldn't that be cool? Very cool. Whoops, that's on black stone. Black cuts through. White does this.
This close hand-to-hand fighting is really everyone's trying to read out as far in advance as they can here.
So it looks like white's actually starting to make some potential space for eyes. But at this point, black says no.
Right.
Fighting
He's got to
every
attack,
stone.
because he's got to attack these to have a chance to come back, right?
So he's going all out.
Do you know, so you know the time controls for this game?
No.
There's an hour and a half of basic time each player to think. So each person has 90 minutes, just basic. And then the overtime is 5 minutes, 5 periods of 40 seconds Byoyomi. And Eric Lee, who's black here, has this, he's the Iceman, man, when it comes to these overtimes. He will be on his last period of Byoyomi, and at by 36, he hasn't moved a muscle. And it's just excruciating. As the recorder, you're like, move, you're gonna lose on time, oh my God. And at 38, he still hasn't moved. And and the clock is counting, 1, 2, the in clocks, how they make that, anyway.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move until 38. He hits it at the last possible second. It's just, my heart can't take too many of these, I swear. It's just killer. Anyway, and he's just totally, just no nerves, no nothing. He's reading. He's not going to move until 6, maybe 7. This is just...
So over here, I would be nervous. This is a poop your pants kind of move.
That one?
Like, I'll be looking like, white doesn't have time to play this. Being surrounded.
Yeah.
But white does. And black being black fights over everything.
You can't afford to give up anything.
Well, not only can he not afford to give up by keeping this strong, it also lets this group have a few extra moves over here. And it also might give him more free moves with this. So he wants to keep it weak too, right? There's a lot of incentive for black to keep this alive, rather than just try to do something over here directly. Drop the stones all over the place.
I do that all the time, man.
Yeah.
Especially when somebody comes in at night, like, puts Vaseline on them or something so they can't hold. I just throw them everywhere.
It's George.
It's possible.
George does it.
George?
Yeah.
A vast conspiracy.
So now, how is the safety of this group looking?
Not so great.
It's getting more surrounded. You should be more nervous.
Got that
More nervous.
Tanuki to get to, at least.
Doesn't have any eyes laid on shit.
Has no eyes.
Has no eyes. This is its nearest friend, right? This isn't really a friend. There's Audrey here, but there's no friends.
How different would it be if this was like this?
Oh my
It would
gosh.
be really, really, really different. Anyway, just want to put that
Meanwhile, these stones are also really weak, right? Black has actually nearly captured all these.
in a big way.
In a big way, yeah. This would be a lot of points. And if these die, of course, all these live too. So this is actually really important, and this is really important. It kind of feels like white has two weak groups here, and doesn't have time to make them both live. But remember, magic.
Black's group is pretty weak in there too.
It is, for sure.
On the
Oh,
left side.
this one, yeah. Well, that's why, white cares about these stones. But if black captures either one of these, right, this group is fine.
Yeah.
So we just have to capture one of them as black. This move doesn't completely capture everything, but basically does for our purposes, right? It makes these safe for now at least.
If you want to drag these two stones out, you end up really weakening these stones. You have to play Atari and then push your way out this way. And if you do that, the white stones here make these almost completely captured, as long as you have more liberties with this half, right? So you can bet they're counting those liberties ahead of time, right? Absolutely.
Well, and then when black plays this move,
It's good.
I got really nervous for white.
It is a good point to be nervous.
Quite honestly, when I first saw the next few white moves, I was like, no, that's bullshit. White can't do that. White's gonna die. That is some amateur Q crap.
Ryan had it all figured out.
I know. Well, we have to see. I have to presume at this point, Ryan sees the Tsuji of how this was going to play out. Like, I have to assume that because,
I can't see it from here.
dude, yeah.
And I saw it already.
But
I
this is
can't
the
see
point
it
where you
from
have
here.
to like maybe even from here you have to be able to see this.
That's right. That's right.
So this is just sick because magic. Okay. All right, ready for white to play?
Yeah.
All right, where would the Q player play? As white.
Cube player.
Where would the Q
Right
player?
right in between those.
There you
two
go.
stones.
We're gonna go this way. There's no friends over here. There's nothing over here. It's terrible shape, but we're gonna go that way.
He has like these two moves, and even then, they're not going to care about them, right? Like,
Right, so, I mean, black's weakest group is over here. Black's just gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna continue the attack and keep my group safe, no problem, we're all good.
these guys are short of liberties, right?
Yeah.
These guys don't have a lot of liberties.
If they can get more quickly too.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not that, I don't think they're that short. Do you think they're short?
He's not so much
They,
shorter.
they have less than this, but they get they get
That's
two
true.
liberties immediately.
That's true.
Like when in Sensei, right? It does hurt this group, but.
Yeah.
All right, so white just pushes this way. All right, just keep playing the Q move. You just play Q moves, it'll all work out for you, trust me. You don't need any of this fancy dawn level anything. White just cuts. And this is very dangerous because black has a sequence prepared.
Normally, it's a bad idea to Atari after a crosscut. Normally, black just wants to do this, right? However, in this case,
This move is Sente if it doesn't die.
it also makes a weakness for black on, like, after white connects, it makes this wedge problematic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, black can't just play here, right? Because this ladder just die. So black has to, if black wants to play this move in Sente, has to take this Atari first, and then can
That's a
play
good way
here.
to think about it, yeah.
And now white has a problem, right? If white connects here, black can surround and be pretty well off. And this is in fact what happens, right? White connects, and black's like, I got you, boo. Right?
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, so come at me, bro. Look at this white group.
Yes, completely surrounded.
Nothing, has nothing.
All right, show us the magic, Nick.
It's pretty magical. And for those of you who are like, oh, but there's a weakness here. Right? It's not really a weakness, right? Because black Atari, and be like, fine.
Right. We're not going to play this way and let white connect. We're going to play this way. And then we can capture this stone like this, right?
So this is all coming up aces for white. And then white plays here.
You mean black. You mean coming up aces for black.
Coming up aces for black, thank you.
That's right.
And this move actually threatens to, right, make white alive again, right? Because we can Atari, and just capture these stones. So black can't give those up.
Can you guys read the whole sequence? That this move would actually capture, or actually this move,
They will.
captures the important cutting stones.
This one works, yeah?
Yeah, they both actually capture the important cutting stones.
Both work.
Yeah.
I might even get to capture this one with this one.
Yeah.
So what's black makes the shape move. All right, here we go. I'm telling you, white's not dead.
It's amazing.
Does he play 10-4?
10-4, good buddy.
That's a good guess, but in this case, I think black has a pretty easy response.
Yeah.
Stay and connect.
No, sir.
So Tom, you fell off the wagon.
You're
You're no longer one Don professional.
Had a good run.
You had a good one.
Pressure's off. You're safe.
How do you save this whole hunk of junk? You don't like suspense, do you?
This is right.
Yeah, we have to start with this move. And this is just magic here.
It's the weakness in the shape.
Yeah, it's the only weakness left, basically. All right, so we already showed you a sequence though, right? This shouldn't work.
Yeah, I'll try on this side and then I'll capture this stone.
There's nothing, there's nothing.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, now I have to find the next move.
Oh, you didn't tell me I had to find two moves.
Well, one Tsuji is only as good as the next Tsuji.
Oh,
Do you see it?
does he play 7?
Anybody else see it? What's the matter? You don't like suspense?
I just note that if he plays 7-5, black can't respond at 7-4.
Oh, that would be Atari, yes. But I can respond here.
Respond there.
That's true.
Then what do you do?
Then you keep shorting him liberties. Right, you can play 9 whatever in Sente. 9-6.
This one.
No. You can take. Oh, we're in Atari. No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, Atari yet.
Just there, right? Good
Touche.
try, Tom. Good try.
A noble effort, sir. A noble effort.
Right.
But
what
it's
can't connect?
something like that, right? Because he's got to exploit the fact that
All right,
It is something like that.
but what is it? Something like that, but what is it?
okay. Try the other side. If you go at 7-6.
This is very promising.
Okay, so if black plays Atari, now you can Atari it. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so now if you play 9,
This is Atari.
Yes.
yeah, that's Atari, and if black captures,
That's right.
you can.
You can.
If you connect, black just gets out.
Yep.
No. This was actually correct so far. Can you throw in? This is good. This is good. We're almost there.
I should put this back.
So I would have thought then you throw in there, but he's already got Atari on 3 white stones, so he doesn't have to capture the 1 throw in.
You ready to lead us through the maze here, Nick?
Almost. Tom, you're all right with this. It is with this. We do have
And
to
then-
short this Liberty.
Then what are you saying black's gonna do?
Black Atari's.
Atari.
Black
And then
plays
white's
that. White's gonna connect to Atari.
and black's gonna,
Black has only one move. Well, I guess black
Yeah.
would take there, but yeah, we want to take the 2.
right?
Right, because that threatens to get out.
Well, it's okay if he gets out as long as white lives too.
Oh, no, actually, no, black didn't play this.
No,
No, black played this one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Capture more, right.
yeah.
Sorry, I messed up.
Black captures this one because if white answers him, black comes back to take him.
Well, that's true over here too, though, right?
Yeah, but you lose less.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, this is bigger. All right, and then here's the key move, right? Here's just the final move. Place it. If black connects,
Then I play here.
then you kill this. And black can't do this Atari thing over here anymore.
Right.
If black connects, and sorry, white always plays here.
Yeah, and if black plays,
If black is there, sorry, there we go. And this is the game.
he's connected in Gote,
Voila, we're alive.
and white is out.
Magic.
White gives up these.
But saves this, and this is particularly useful, right? Because we have all this black weakness now stuff in the middle, right?
This stuff
Black
is
went
all
all out
Yeah.
to get after this.
Okay.
This is a really cool part of the game.
Like,
I
notice
can tell you guys all think it's really cool because you're not saying anything.
Do we have some questions so far?
Does black resign right here?
No, but I mean, in the Q peanut gallery, it was hypothesized that he should. There is actually a little bit more cool things that happen down here. They go sort of all out after each other after this stuff. But basically, in the end, it just means that all this stuff ends up dying.
Yeah. At this point, white got away. Remember how we were talking about how black needed to kill everything to be back in the game? White got points just from having this, from black starting this attack. It meant that black wasn't reducing this, which meant white got these in Sente. So white gets a lot there. He gave up 10 points or so, but in exchange, these moves aren't small. Reducing the entirety of the black, like this was black's whole big thing here.
Remember, we're gonna have a monster, the black monster.
Right. And that got turned into very little. And then lastly, this is almost, black has just played this connection, right? Is it their last
No,
one?
white plays. It is black's move.
White
Is it?
captures?
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
White Atari, black connect, white capture.
Okay, got it. So, but black is going to need now to defend this, whereas white no longer has anything that needs defending.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still, I think black might still be ahead slightly, in terms of raw points, but it's the potential.
White's ahead.
I'm not saying these are. If we assume these are not dead yet.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, black has this, black has this, black has this, black has this.
No, white's ahead. No points.
Right now.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you counting this alive or dead?
Alive. White's still ahead on points.
I don't believe that yet.
Okay.
Like this is dead. This is dead.
Well, yeah, this is Sente, starting there.
Oh, so but these are all dead.
Not really, because this has to connect to something alive, and these are gonna,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it depends what we assume. Like it depends what we assume life or death. But
We're making some assumptions. Rich.
I mean, there's still a game yet to be played here.
Yeah. When you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you in options.
It's not clear.
It's not clear.
It's not clear, and black can still make a lot of points.
That's not what, anyway, that's what I was told in school. Not to, yeah. Anyway. Right, all right.
We're gonna end here. There is another cool part. If you go to the AGA website and download the full game, I think there is another very, very cool part near the end. Basically, sort of near the resign, where you can see how this fighting all works out. Sort of your last ditch effort by black to kill everything, which does kind of fall short.
He's all in.
But these come back to life, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this
which is amazing.
Which is
Like, these stones come back to life for real? Are you kidding me?
The white ones come back to life?
Yeah.
yeah.
But don't
And
take
black-
our word for it.
And black goes
Find
all
out
out
for
to kill all of
yourself.
this. Yeah, black goes all out to kill everything over here. So there is more coolness. So anyway, I mean, Eric, overall had a really good series, and he's a really strong player. It's just that Ryan, capitalized on his mistakes.
Right.
His mistakes were more apparent.
Right.
Getting into a co-fight he really couldn't win. playing a co-threat that was subpar.
And at that point, he just didn't let him back.
Yeah. So
Why couldn't he win it?
Black.
He could have won it, right? Or he just did.
Well, there's still
He
weaknesses.
couldn't win it without enduring enough damage that he would be behind. If that makes sense. Black would be better off descending and preventing that co-threat, the co-fight from starting.
Yep. See, the simple, easy, clear shape move wins again.
Man, what if we should be professional? Let's do it next year. Let's go.
All right.
Study hard. We'll do it. All right. Cue a Rocky montage.
All right. So anyway, I'd like to thank Andrew for coming on short notice and just sharing us this what he remembered from.
Thanks for letting me totally sandbag your video here. I was like, actually, what Myung-Won said.
Yeah, well, that's why you're here. I don't think of you standing there. This is Myung-Won Kim.
Oh, no.
That's why I brought you.
That is not. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Myung-Won, if you're watching. I'm so sorry.